young woman moves into the farmhouse of her dreams and soon finds out she has company.
I always thought it was the old man that died there.
How much fear can she take?
I'm warning you, you're in danger. He's not happy.
I was gonna be in my dream home and nothing was gonna stop me from being there.
And how far will the entity go?
There was something there, something that is not friendly.
Before she finally gets the message. In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see
Someone's in my room.
and the things we fear, there are doors when they are opened.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I have one rule. Never trust dolls, mirrors, or basements. Everything else, bring it on. And this is Panic TV. Imagine with me, if this and this had a horrifying baby raised by this. Yeah, that's a movie.
Nightmares become reality. In October of 2008, 24-year-old Jennifer Patterson prepares for a housewarming party in her new home.
I knew I'd find you somewhere.
It didn't take very long for me to know that this was the house that I wanted. The sale price was pretty attractive, but the charm that the house had was what was hook, line, and sinker.
There are still items left in the house that belonged to the previous owner.
There were a lot of knickknacks and like old Christmas decorations and old encyclopedias left in the basement.
Well, that's cute. I could find use for this.
The house was just adorable. It had wooden beams in the ceiling and it had this brick on one of the walls and had big open windows, and it was just beautiful. I loved it.
The house sits on 5 acres of land on the outskirts of Warsaw.
The privacy of the house was really nice. I mean, the neighbor lived on the other side of a line of trees. You can go downtown and you would know everybody. There isn't a stranger in this town.
Sarah is Jennifer's best friend.
Me and Jen, we've known each other basically our entire lives. She's like my sister. There's no closer family you can get. I was so excited for her when she bought her house. This was really Jen's first step in becoming her own person.
Jennifer? Jennifer? Hello? Ah, you scared me.
It's about time you showed up.
Well, I'm sorry it took me so long to get here. You live out in the middle of nowhere.
But did you see the yard and all those huge trees? I love it. Just love it.
Yeah, I saw the trees. I'm really glad you're happy.
When I first walked into the house, it was one of those feelings that something was kind of off.
So the dead flies come with the house?
Again?
There was like 50 dead flies on the floor.
They just keep appearing. And in the same spot, too. I don't know where they're coming from.
Weird. Well, let's get a broom and we'll clean them up. Let's get this party started, shall we? Yeah?
Excuse me, do I know you?
No, you don't. I'm a friend of a friend. From the moment I came into this house, I had a feeling. There's a spirit here, and he wants you out of this house. You and everyone here are not welcome.
What are you talking about? There's somebody in here that doesn't want us here? In my house?
He told me he is sensitive, and there was a man and a woman in my house. The woman was just a dainty little lady, but the man was very angry.
I'm warning you. You're in danger. He's not happy.
Hey, Jen. Hey, you look like you've seen a ghost. Jen.
Something really weird just happened. There's this creepy guy, and he was talking about how there's a spirit here, and he wants us out, and he just disappeared.
What guy? Jen, what's going on with this place?
That was when I started getting concerned. It's just one of those things that you can't ignore.
Come on, Sarah, don't look at me that way. Hey, just some creepy guy. Probably somebody trying to play a prank on me.
I just kind of blew him off. I mean, I didn't believe in that kind of stuff, really. Even if I had believed him, I wasn't gonna go anywhere. I was gonna be in my dream home, and nothing was gonna stop me from being there.
But Jennifer's new house is full of surprises.
I got this huge, whiff of aftershave. And I thought that was kind of weird because there was nothing in the house that would have smelled like that. I looked in the cabinets, I looked even in the hall closet to see if this aftershave was left behind, and nothing. I would hear talking. The voices were muffled, like somebody is having a conversation, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. Living by yourself in the middle of nowhere, in a new house, can be scary hearing any kind of noise. I kept telling myself, oh, you're tired. You've been working a lot. This is a new house. I just pretty much let it go at that point.
Soon after Jennifer's housewarming party, she invites her friend Sarah over for dinner.
Oh, come on, Sarah. One more glass.
This late already? I've really got to go home.
No. Oh, no. You are staying right here. Because there is still some wine left in this bottle, and you are gonna help me finish it.
I really shouldn't, Jennifer. It's a long way back to my place.
Don't be ridiculous. Just stay the night. I've got a guest bedroom. It's all set up and everything.
But Sarah thinks the house may be haunted.
I chose not to say anything because I didn't want to make a big deal or make something that it wasn't.
Okay, as long as a ghost don't keep me up. Ooh.
Yeah. Do you?
Sure enough, Sarah is unable to sleep.
Jennifer? Hey, you awake?
I went back into the hallway and I looked at all the doors. All the doors were shut. I could hear two separate sounding voices. It was just constant murmuring back and forth, like mumbling. You couldn't make out any specific words. I opened the door and it stopped, and there's nobody in the bedroom at all. You just knew there was somebody watching you. The hairs on my arms were like alert. It freaked me out.
Sarah warns Jennifer.
That was when I started saying, you need to leave. Move out of that place. This place is haunted. I didn't really want to sugarcoat it for her because there were things going on.
But Jennifer is too stubborn to take heed. One night, Jennifer works late at her job in the shipping department of a local auto parts company.
So, I hear you living in Eli's old house. Shame what happened.
Yeah. Did you know him?
I don't think there's a man alive who loved his wife more. He was crazy about her.
One of my coworkers actually knew the previous owner.
According to the co-worker, Eli Jones built the home for his wife, and they spent many happy years there.
When she died, Eli was inconsolable. He eventually shut himself away from the world.
It pretty much broke his heart when she went. Everything in the house reminded him of her, and he became a hermit.
Then, the co-worker says, 7 months before Jennifer moved in, Eli also died of natural causes in the house.
I'll tell you one thing. That man could dress. He was always clean-shaven and always really loaded up on the aftershave.
When I first found out that the previous owners had died in the house, I was really creeped out. But, I mean, there was nothing I could do.
Eli, I'm home.
I got another big whiff of aftershave.
I am sorry about your wife. I know that you really loved her. Hello?
Jennifer has learned that the previous owner, Eli Jones, died in her house.
You can hear a man say, "Get out." I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? I could feel the fingers around my leg. I had to tell myself that somebody died in this house. It could possibly be haunted.
It's the moment of truth. Despite the fact that she was grabbed, Jennifer decides to make peace with Eli.
He hasn't done anything to hurt me. He scared me, but I just kept telling myself it was him. I figured he loved the house. He loved being there. He built it. He just wants to stay. I wasn't okay with it, but what was I gonna do? It's not like you can just pick up and leave a house. You can't just do that. I just told myself, this is my house. I'm just gonna have to ignore it.
In 2011, Jennifer meets Sean Williams, a maintenance manager, at work.
It all started out with a friendship, and then it ended up evolving into more. I feel very lucky that I met her.
When the relationship grows serious, Jennifer invites him to live with her.
Are you sure you're all right with this? Me moving in?
Yes, of course.
Sean has the biggest heart of anyone that I know. He would give you the shirt off his back. He could have a million things going on, and he would drop everything for me.
I was super excited when Sean moved in with Jen, thinking that, well, maybe a male presence will help calm things down.
Hey, are you sure that you're okay with all this? I mean, crazy house and all the residual whatevers.
I'm not the least bit worried about that.
I'm usually a man of science, and sometimes I thought, well, what she was viewing wasn't exactly what really was happening. Misinterpretation.
I think that his way of thinking was, I believe that something is happening to you, but I gotta be able to debunk it somehow. I was coming home late from work, and the front of the house has a big picture window, and there's somebody standing there. About this time, every time we would go to bed, I would lock the bedroom door. Someone not being able to open my door freely was comforting. I'm trying to look into the darkness, and after my eyes had adjusted, I saw somebody standing there.
For some time, Jennifer Patterson's haunted home has been quiet. But when her boyfriend Sean moves in, the ghost suddenly reappears.
I could not speak. I couldn't even move a muscle to wake Sean up. There was nothing that I could do. In my head, I'm screaming, "What the hell is that?"
Sean, please. Sean, help me. I need you.
What's wrong?
Jennifer looked over at me and all the blood was drained from her face.
What is it?
He's here.
I didn't see anything. There was nothing around.
You don't believe me, but I know what I saw, and it was him.
Sean's reaction to what I had just seen was, nothing happened, your eyes were playing tricks on you. I knew what I saw. I still know what I saw. And there was nothing that he could say or do to make me change my mind. I saw somebody standing there.
I saw him. He was standing right there.
Are you sure it wasn't just a bad dream?
You don't believe me, but I know what I saw, and it was him.
She was definitely freaked out, but I'm trying to understand what's going on. Someone's seeing things, but you're not seeing them, so you don't know really what you can do to help. It's definitely frustrating.
Days pass without incidents, but Jennifer grows increasingly anxious when she is in the house, alone.
You're always on the edge of your seat, waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to scare you. I mean, you're supposed to be comfortable in your house.
What was that?
It literally sounded like something heavy fell or something slammed hard, like someone was breaking a door down. And that's the one I grabbed my .45.
Someone's in the house. Stay here. Lock the door behind me. Don't move anywhere until I get back.
I looked around the room. I didn't see anything that could create the loud bang.
Relax, man. There's nobody down here with you. It just gets you paranoid. Looking for ghosts.
My heart was racing. There was something there, something that is not friendly.
When his girlfriend Jennifer grows fearful, Sean goes searching for ghosts in their home.
I started off as a skeptic. Every time she was telling me something, I looked around, I didn't see anything. When I went down into the basement, I sensed that something was definitely bad. It was a very intense feeling.
Sean can no longer deny that the house is haunted.
That was the first time that I believed that something paranormal was going on in this house.
Knowing that Sean finally realized that what I was talking about was actually true, it was a big relief to me. But then again, he's seeing it, so I'm not crazy, and what do we do?
Jennifer and Sean decide they need help.
She ended up doing some research and found a place locally that could get to the bottom of what was going on.
I was hoping there was some way that these people would tell me that I could stay in my house, that they could get rid of whatever was in it.
In July 2013, the Fort Wayne Shadow Chasers Parasisters arrive at the farmhouse.
We're an all-female team that investigates supernatural occurrences.
Hi, I'm Tina, and this is Jackie, part of my team.
Thank you so much for coming. My boyfriend is at work, otherwise he'd be here too, so.
Jennifer was very nervous, shaken up. She didn't want to be in the home alone at all, so she was waiting outside for us.
So I understand that you had sensed a spirit in the house.
Yeah.
And your boyfriend as well?
Yeah, we've both had experiences.
And you were grabbed, is that right?
In the basement. Something grabbed my ankle. Sean said that he felt a presence down there too.
Well, then I think that we should start the investigation down there.
I'll catch up with you all later. There's something here. I want to do some digging.
We are at the home of Jennifer Patterson, Warsaw, Indiana.
That night, Cheryl, the team's sensitive, has a vision of the previous owner who lived in the house.
Sometimes I get pictures of people who have been there in the past.
Well, this music reminds me of the day we were married. You look absolutely beautiful tonight.
Oh, thank you, Eli. It's so nice.
Sometimes I get feelings of maybe how the person has passed away. If they are anxious or sad. It gives us an overall picture of what might have been there.
Cheryl confirms what Jennifer's co-worker told her. After his wife's death, Eli was heartbroken and became a recluse. Later, he died of natural causes, in the house, alone.
The previous owner was very ill. He had some sort of a cancer, and it had something to do with his chest. I felt sick and dizzy, and I also felt like I was having a hard time breathing. My chest felt like there was a weight pressing on it.
A paranormal investigator has a vision of the man haunting Jennifer and Sean's house.
He did not want us there. We were invading his place, his sanctuary. I could almost see him standing back there. It was more like a shadow, but it was him.
Cheryl, are you okay? I saw him. The man that died here. This is his house. He'll never leave.
The previous owner put his sweat and his love into the house. He built the house for his wife. And when he died, he still did not want to leave. He is so attached to the house.
Jennifer. He's still grieving. He lost his wife, the love of his life. He considers you the intruder.
The new people that moved in were outsiders. They didn't belong, and he wanted them out.
I always thought it was the old man that died there. It's still his house to him.
Is there anything that I can do to stay in my home?
There's one option, but it's not something that everyone is able to do.
At this point, I am willing to try anything.
Well, then you're gonna have to try to live in this house together.
It's possible that if it's not too frightening, that they may be able to coexist. That's something that definitely could work for a lot of people.
But you can't be afraid. That's the only way that this is gonna work.
If Jennifer didn't get her fear under control, then he could possibly feed off of that and things could get worse for her.
Before the investigators leave, they recite a protection prayer.
It sets boundaries for our homeowner and the spirits. It protects the homeowner. And we hope that the protection prayer will at least calm down activity.
In the days that follow, Jennifer attempts to live with the grieving ghost of Eli, but her fear is ever present.
There's nothing to be afraid of, Jennifer. Nothing. Just doing the laundry.
I felt 2 hands on my back push me.
The physical attack leaves Jennifer in a state of shock, and she and Sean move out.
I got a lot of injuries from that fall. Bruised ribs, pulled muscle. I had strained things in my shoulder. That was the scariest thing that has ever happened in my life. I can't even explain how terrifying it is, and to think that if it can push me, what else can it do to harm us? We packed our stuff and left. Never looked back.
To this day, Jennifer still has mixed feelings about her home.
With everything that happened, it was still painful to let the house go because I did love the house. It's almost like a trauma. It's always there. No matter how much you try to ignore it or forget, it's always there.
It is definitely a horrifying experience. I would say if you don't believe in the paranormal, you definitely need to kind of be more aware of your surroundings because not everything can be proven from a book.
Eventually, the farmhouse sells.
The house was on the market probably 6 months, and a couple from out of state bought it. I don't want to know if they have experiences or not. I don't care to know anything about that house anymore.
A mother's interest
Are you back?
and a father's disbelief in the paranormal
How many times do we have to go over this? Ghosts do not exist, all right?
Really?
reaches a new level. When their daughter has an encounter.
Get out! Get out!
She was hearing voices.
Tell me, who won't leave you alone?
The ghost.
She couldn't control what was being said in her head.
I wish you were dead! Is he real? Or just a figment of the imagination?
They wanted to take my child away from me and put her somewhere to study her.
And I said, no one's gonna take my kid.
You're gonna hurt yourself! Stop!
In America, there is real evil. It lurks in the darkest shadows and in our most ordinary towns. Between the worlds we see
Someone's in my room.
and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality. Just miles outside of San Francisco, along the coast of the Pacific Ocean, lies an idyllic California beach town.
Pacifica is a quiet community, very friendly community. Everybody helps each other out. You can actually leave your doors open, very low key, and everybody knows everybody.
In 2016, Emiliano Balistreri, a San Francisco police officer, is getting ready to head into work.
So I've been a police officer for almost 18 years. I'm currently assigned to a night watch.
Hey, I was watching that.
8:30, kiddo. Time for bed.
Just a few more minutes, please.
Stuff will rot your brains out.
Despite working nights, Emiliano does whatever he can to spend time with his daughter, Alyssa.
How about a book? Alyssa and I are extremely close. I come home from work every morning, make her breakfast, get her dressed, get her to school. Aha!
Not that one. I've read it 1,000,000 times.
Alyssa is very outspoken. She's a little bit defiant, very energetic.
It's getting late. You should probably get going.
Okay, fine.
That's my girl. You know I love you, right?
My husband and Alyssa, they are so close. She's a total daddy's girl. My daughter, Alyssa, and I, our relationship is very open. She tells me everything. Sometimes she tells me some great stories.
Angelina and Emiliano have been married 14 years.
See you at breakfast?
It's a date.
He's just such a family guy, and he's just strong. We have a great relationship.
Angelina, Alyssa, and myself are a very tight family.
Hey, you stay out of trouble.
No, you stay out of trouble.
Alone in the evenings, Angelina attends to her routine.
When Angelina and I got married, I was assigned to midnights, so she's very used to me working at night. We have an alarm system, so she's secure in the house.
My husband's always working. It was a little concerning for a little bit, but I've gotten used to being home alone. I turned around down the hallway and the lights turned off in the bathroom.
Hello? Are you back? It's been a while.
Angelina is not the least bit startled.
I've always felt a presence in my house. The lights in my house would constantly burn out. I would hear noises, boxes moving, things getting knocked over. At times I would hear a voice. I wasn't too scared about the presence so much. That actually got me interested in the paranormal.
Okay, well, going to bed now. Good night. Honey, it's late. What are you still doing up?
I saw the lights going on and off in the bathroom, so I wanted to see if it was the ghost.
Like her mother, Alyssa is intrigued by the idea of living with a ghost.
All right, maybe next time. Right now, I've got to get you to bed. It's a school night, honey.
It was quite cute to see her interest. I never saw her really frightened about it. For her, it was kind of cool.
Every muscle in my body is tense. I love it.
One afternoon, Angelina picks up Alyssa from school and pays her friend Harvey a visit.
Hey there. So good to see you.
Yeah. So, what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Hope it's not about that little incident last week.
The kid got what was coming to
All
him.
right, just relax. I'm not here about that.
I met Harvey when he was Alyssa's teacher. We just started a conversation, and actually, we just hit it off.
Are you going to talk about ghosts? Can I stay, please?
We figured out we had a common interest in the paranormal, and we just started a friendship. I was excited to know that he knew a lot about the paranormal because I needed to know more. I was just starting to be educated about it, and I was intrigued that he had been doing it for so many years.
Why don't you go get yourself a little snack, okay?
Outside of his day job, Harvey has worked as a paranormal investigator for more than 20 years.
So, what's up?
I have a favor to ask you. All right, you know how we've spoken a few times about how I think my house is haunted?
Yeah.
Well, I really need to find out for sure. I was hoping you could help me with that. Actually show me how you work.
Angelina, when she found out I did paranormal investigating, oh, she was very excited. She had so many questions. So many questions. She was very inquisitive.
Flickering of the light, and then not just...
She told me there were some things going on at her house and asked me if I could, train her in how to do it.
I think that might work best for you.
She wanted to know that she wasn't crazy, and she wanted to catch something, evidence of anything.
I can come over this weekend.
Perfect.
But what would Emiliano say?
My husband wasn't a believer in the paranormal. I kind of kept a lot of the activity to myself.
We'll find out, won't we?
Okay.
I needed to know more. I was convinced there was something going on.
One night, Angelina Balistreri shares her mother's interest in the paranormal. But one night, she actually sees something.
Dinner's ready, sweetie.
Mommy, I saw the ghost.
You mean you saw the lights flickering again?
No, it was the ghost, I swear.
Alyssa was very aware that there was something there.
Look, honey, you know all this stuff about ghosts. It's really just for fun, okay?
I didn't want her to be scared, and I would just make light of it. I was kind of make it seem like a normal thing that's happening in our home, so she doesn't have to overthink things.
Okay, time for you to get washed up for dinner. Okay? Is it a nice ghost?
Over the next few days, light bulbs continue to burn out in the house.
Did I scare ya?
Alyssa, that's not nice.
Hey, so how was the party?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Is Mr. Harvey coming over soon?
Harvey? When, tonight?
He's gonna look for the ghost.
That's just great.
I didn't like the fact that Alyssa was very much into the paranormal.
Why don't you go play?
Angelina's into this. She's following suit in this. She's starting to believe things that are not true.
How many times do we have to go over this? There's nothing in this house. Ghosts do not exist, all right?
Really? My husband was a huge skeptic, and he would look at me and just, no, you're just imagining these things. And he would tell me, oh, it's not real.
How many light bulbs have you had to change this month?
One of the lights would blow out. I would replace it. Another light would blow out, and I would replace it. I believed that maybe it was a short in the system, maybe too much current. running through.
We're spending a fortune on light bulbs. You don't find that a little weird? Harvey says that that's a sure sign of paranormal activity.
Harvey explained to me that spirits can use electrical energy.
Fine, but I don't want to be around, and I don't want Alyssa around either. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Ghosts.
I had no problem with Harvey or Angelina, doing what they have to do around the house. I wanted nothing to do with it. If that's what they enjoyed, I'm empowered to you. Just keep me out of it.
That night, Harvey arrives.
Okay, so some of these things are highly sensitive, fragile, but this one, just a general magnetic field.
I see it as a meter.
Yeah. This camcorder, it's like infrared, so you can mount it in a corner.
When Harvey came over to my house to investigate, I was so excited. My first paranormal investigation.
This, just for sound.
I brought a couple of my little gadgets with me. I brought a Gauss meter. I brought a digital recorder. She wanted to learn the proper ways of using the equipment to see if she could capture, activity.
Huh. What's this?
That is the K2. So this can pick up on the most sensitive electromagnetic fields in the room. This is probably one of the best tools in my kit.
Okay.
So that was really
What is it?
Harvey's not only a paranormal investigator, he's also an intuitive. He can sense spirits as well.
I actually started feeling something. Most people say, the hairs on the back of my hands raised up in my neck. Not me. Between my eyes, it starts to buzz.
Did you feel that?
Yeah. There's definitely something here.
I felt the temperature change. Very chilly, like a cold breeze going across the front of my face.
What is it?
Look, do you see that? Oh, it's strong in here.
Drop in temperature usually indicates a possible spirit energy trying to manifest. It's like a vacuum. It's drawing the nearby energy as it can and inadvertently reduces the temperature.
It's activity.
That's our ghost.
I felt a presence. Didn't know who it was. To me, it did feel male though, but I couldn't say for sure. But I didn't feel anything negative.
The investigation confirms Angelina's belief that her home is haunted.
It's off the charts.
Wow.
I was right. There was some paranormal activity.
Over the next few days, Angelina is hooked. The experience only fuels her interest in the paranormal.
I had fun with it, and I bought every little gadget possible. Harvey, he just says, if they get playful, they get naughty, make sure that you just, with conviction, just tell them just to not bother you.
The activity appears to be stronger in certain rooms. Angelina and her daughter Alyssa are both convinced their house is haunted.
I wanted to know more about it, and I started investigating my own home.
For Angelina, it's all fun and games, while Alyssa has had an altogether different experience.
Get out of my head, no. What do you want from me?
There is one skeptic in the family. Emiliano thinks it's just a harmless pastime.
Angelina, if she enjoyed it, so be it, as long as she understood that, in my eyes, it's not real. I was a non-believer. I would debunk everything and anything. I would make jokes of it. I think people were crazy. Because I work nights, it's very difficult for me to start to fall asleep. I kind of have to calm down a little bit. I started hearing a lot of banging, I mean, very loud banging coming from the front door. As if somebody's got actually a sledgehammer and is trying to blow the door open. For safety, being a police officer, I grabbed my gun.
Who's out there?
And opened up the door. Looked out. Nobody there.
Damn kids.
Emiliano rationalizes the event.
My first initial thought was maybe high schoolers, kids, run around doing a prank.
One morning, Angelina gets ready to go on a business trip.
I'm an administrative assistant at a biotech firm. I was going out of town for a few days, and it was just going to be Emiliano and Alyssa.
Maybe I should cancel. I really hate leaving her when she's not feeling well.
She'll be okay. I took her temperature. She doesn't have a fever. It's okay. I'll take good care of her.
Emiliano reassures Angelina that he has a few days off work to look after Alyssa.
Okay, I'll call you when I get there.
Okay, be safe.
Alyssa is lively, energetic, dancing, singing. This particular morning, she was kind of pale, very quiet. I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what. My first thought is, it'll pass. It's just a one-day thing. We all wake up on the wrong side of the bed every now and then. I heard what sounded like heavy breathing. At first, I thought that maybe, okay, you're hearing something.
While his wife is out of town, Emiliano Balistreri, a San Francisco police officer, makes contact with something he can't explain.
I heard what sounded like heavy breathing. I thought, okay, there is something behind me. I felt something grab my right shoulder. I immediately spun around, thinking somebody's behind me. There was nothing there. It stunned me. I was speechless for a few minutes, just a lot of thoughts racing through your head. Doing the job that I do, you have to solve problems. And this one here stumped me because I could not solve it.
What's more, whatever appears to be ailing his daughter, Alyssa, is getting worse.
Daddy, make him stop. Please make him stop. He scares me. He's saying things to me. Bad things. Bad things.
As the week went on, I noticed that Alyssa was changing.
He's saying things to me.
Alyssa was telling me that she was hearing voices in her head. I knew something was wrong. I started to worry that it could have been a medical cause.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Stop.
Get out.
My God, what's going on?
I don't know. She hasn't been herself all week, and then I come in today and she's like this.
Out.
Alyssa looked very tired, very worn out. You could tell she was going through a lot. It was like, it was not my child.
Get
Alyssa, what are you doing?
out. Get out.
Stop it, honey. Why are you doing this?
Out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
She was just hitting her head, and she wanted it out.
She was saying, I want it out, like knock it out of me, get it out of me.
Get out. Get out.
Alyssa, you're gonna hurt yourself. Stop. Please. Honey.
Look at you. You're stupid. God, you're a moron. I hate you. You're worthless. I wish you would die, do you hear me? I wish you were dead.
She said mean, hurtful things out of nowhere. She looked fearful with the eyes of like, I need help. I need you to help me.
Baby, you won't leave me alone. Why won't you just leave me alone?
Alyssa was scared. She couldn't control what was being said in her head.
Baby, tell me, who won't leave you alone?
The ghost.
Emiliano and Angelina take Alyssa to numerous doctors. Although tests show that there is nothing medically wrong, they recommend Alyssa be placed under psychiatric observation.
Leave me alone. Get out of my head.
They wanted to take my child away from me and put her somewhere to study her, and that didn't sit well with with Angelina or with me.
Get out! Get out!
to have a doctor say that they're gonna take her away, it literally feels like somebody's gone inside, grabbed your heart, ripped it out, and you're just dead to the world.
I was in tears, terrified. I said, no one's gonna take my kid.
Alyssa's parents are beside themselves.
It was heart-wrenching, but we were comfortable enough to take her home. They let us take her home.
I'm trying to be strong, but I was helpless seeing my daughter go through this.
With the medical test results showing nothing amiss, Angelina wonders if her daughter is being affected by something not of this world.
We need to talk. Please don't get angry, but I think what's happening with Alyssa is paranormal.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but you might be right.
I sat down with Angelina and just giving all the facts. I said, you know what? I'm gonna believe here that it is paranormal.
It's after our little girl. What are we gonna do?
We got to this point where we're like, what are we gonna do? For my husband to believe in the paranormal was quite a turning point. Emiliano looked at me and he said, call Harvey.
Call Harvey.
Angelina's friend Harvey, a paranormal investigator, agrees to come that weekend. Now, all the family can do is wait. Angelina Balistreri has been acting unlike herself.
Alyssa, you're gonna hurt yourself. Stop. I hate you. I wish you were dead.
Fearing that she is being haunted by an evil spirit, her parents call in a paranormal investigator.
Thank you for coming.
This is Father David. He's dealt with this kind of situation before.
I've never had to involve a priest in any case I've ever worked in. And this time I felt I needed somebody who has a little bit more experience in this than I do.
When Harvey contacted me, he was telling me they had this circumstance and they really weren't sure what was going on, but they really felt that because I was both priest and medium, if there was something that required a little more of a spiritual touch to it, I would be able to get rid of it.
Hello there.
That's our daughter, Alyssa. Alyssa, can you come say hello to Father David?
Alyssa, when I first met her, she'd been through a lot and she was kind of weary from it and uncertain about what was going on.
It's nice to meet you. I know what you've been going through. I'm here to help you, Alyssa. Will you trust me? Honey, why don't you go play outside for a while? Your mom and I need to talk with Mr. Harvey and Father David. Okay, what exactly are we dealing with here? I mean, is this some kind of demon?
No. Presence I sense here, it's not necessarily evil in nature. Wouldn't you agree, Father?
Yes. I feel anger, hatred, fear. It's dark energy, but it's definitely not demonic.
Finding out from Father David that it was not demonic was a huge relief.
But Alyssa, when she has one of these episodes, it's as if she's possessed.
She's not under possession. She's channeling the spirit. Alyssa has the gift for Entities from the paranormal world, it's like moss to a flame.
David had some interesting news for us that we have a sensitive child. She could see ghosts. She could feel ghosts. They come to her naturally.
Okay. Are you saying our daughter is psychic? That's crazy. How is that even real?
It's as real as being grabbed by something you can't see. Wasn't it your right shoulder, Emiliano?
With Father David looked at me and he says, "You were grabbed." I almost passed out. I had told nobody about this. That was my secret. That point right there changed my whole outlook in life regarding the paranormal. This guy's the real deal. This is true.
You make me sick!
What is it, Father?
The spirit, it's... I need something that belongs to you, something that's important.
In the hopes of learning about the spirit, Father David employs a technique called psychometry, in which he draws information from an object.
What the object does is it helps give me a place to focus. It's like being able to take a 360-degree view of the recent history of that person. What they've experienced, what their emotions were, who they encountered, those things sometimes can all be imprinted on that object. I began to identify it was a young male entity, and it was an angry male entity. There was something definitely that had happened to his face that had disfigured it, but he didn't allow me to see that clearly. My sense is that this spirit was a troubled young man, and he was masking that with a lot of anger.
I can't believe you're my son! You're my son! You hear me?
I had the clear sense this boy did not have a good father figure in life. He had been told repeatedly that he was worthless, he was a bad seed.
I wish you were never even born! I wish you were dead!
When earthbound spirits are very troubled or have led a pretty dark life, they're going to have that same kind of energy where it's a very dark energy.
While investigating a haunting at the Balistreri house, Father David senses a spirit's past using a technique called psychometry.
Father David. Father David, are you okay? The spirit, it's a young man, about 17 years old.
It's a kid?
He died in a horrible car crash.
This boy had been driving a car at a high rate of speed on a winding road, and he had lost control of the car. The force of the accident just tore him apart. So he was dead in an instant, but it was a horrific way to die.
You were there. Yes. My God, I remember him. Is it really him?
I did go to an accident scene where it was a teenage boy. He died on impact. There was no chance of survival, and it was pretty gruesome.
He followed you home. He was scared. He doesn't know where to go.
Emiliano was the first one on the scene, and this boy didn't believe he could cross over. So he saw Emiliano as a comforting presence and as a place where he could have stability. So he attached himself to Emiliano and followed him home.
He needs to go into the light. I can guide him.
Father David asks to be alone with the young man, to help him cross over and find peace.
What keeps a spirit earthbound has to do with some sort of fear. For this young boy, it was a fear that he wasn't worthy of crossing over.
I can't believe you're my son. I wish you were never even born.
Don't be afraid. You're going to a place where you'll be safe, where you'll be loved. I promise you this.
My process is to create a portal of light and let him know that he could cross over.
Go into the light, my son. You'll find peace, happiness there. Go on. God is with you now.
It took some convincing that the prospect of him being allowed to cross over was even real, but there was no hesitation at all.
Afterwards, Father David conducts a house blessing.
Jesus talks about how if you clear out the space, you need to fill it with good, and otherwise you're just leaving an open space that anybody can step into.
Hello, I'm Miss America, and I am here to entertain.
Oh, let's see.
Weeks later, there is no sign of paranormal activity in the Balistreri house.
After the blessing, the overall feeling of the house was lighter. We just exhaled like, it's finally done.
I got my daughter back, and my daughter was back to normal. The best feeling in the world is to watch your daughter sing, to watch your daughter dance. Not a peep comes out of her about what happened. Just vanished. It's like it was a dream.
Thank you. Thank you.
This whole ordeal has changed my life completely. I believe there's another world. I believe that there is a paranormal side.
This experience has not changed my views at all. I am still actively investigating the paranormal, and I accept it, embrace it.
We love you.
Love you too.
As for Alyssa, she has a lifetime to explore her psychic abilities.
So Father David had told us she's gonna see things from time to time. You're gonna have to deal with it. Break it in slowly to her.
With Alyssa's new abilities, being a sensitive, she sees things. We kind of lightly have to tell her, hey, by the way, you have a gift, but we'll explain to you when you're older, and it's okay.
If you could rewrite that ending, how would you change it? Go full director in the comments below.